Hey, Highlander fans, Mike Ventola back with you as we are continuing to catch up with Highlanders. And we're excited to have Nicole Loehle from the women's soccer team. And Nicole, first and foremost, how's everything going? And secondly, how's it been back at campus?
Everything's been going well. I mean, I can't complain. I've had very fortunate and good luck over this time. I know not everyone has been in that same boat. So everything's been well. I've been very blessed with how the health of my close friends and family have been. And then being back at campus is definitely an adjustment. It's definitely been weird getting used to, wearing masks outside. Obviously, I was used to wearing masks at the grocery store when I was home, but just always remembering my mask, like you can kind of see it on my wall. So when I leave my dorm room, I won't forget to wear my mask. So it's definitely been an adjustment, getting used to classes online, but everything's been going really well. So
It's amazing how masks have become a big part of our society, especially when it comes to social distancing and respecting all the guidelines that are put in place. And of course, NJIT, been very public in promoting the importance of mask wearing. And believe it or not, folks, Nicole had a hand in assisting in making the masks at NJIT. Can you talk a little bit about how you got involved and what's it been like seeing everybody wear masks?
yeah, so at the beginning when Corona got really bad, I knew I wanted to help out in some way, and because I'm studying chemical engineering, the engineering program in the makerspace was sending out some emails to whoever they could really get in contact with. I'm not sure if it was through the honors program or what, but I just remember seeing an email in my inbox about how, yeah, the makerspace was assembling masks, and I really wanted to do it. And once finals were over and I had nothing to do because we were still in quarantine, I knew I wanted to help out in some way because really the only people working or doing anything were essential workers. And I was like, I wanted to volunteer my time since I had nothing else better to do. So I was really happy that NJIT was making an impact, and we made a ton of masks. We would sit in an assembly line and we would master whatever task we were on. And I think it was really nice to give back in that way. And I think it was going out to, because that was when there was a shortage. So I think it was going out to either local hospitals or whoever needed face shields. It was really awesome.
Well, that's great for you, and of course, everybody else that was involved in the mask making. Such cool stuff, and Nicole. Obviously, you mentioned you're a chemical engineering major, and obviously, in the midst of trying to do well in the classroom and perform well on the soccer field, you're trying to better yourself and get yourself prepared for the next chapter in life, and obviously, that's looking to go into your career. You had done an internship at Sabre Systems Incorporated in Manchester, New Jersey. What can you tell us about the internship and how much of your major was, an impact during your internship?
Yeah, so I was really fortunate to have an internship this summer. Like a lot of internships that I was even applying to and interviewing for got either canceled or went completely online. And that was similar to this one. This one came out of the blue, and it was all virtual. So I got a computer sent to me, and that was definitely an adjustment, getting one introduced to Sabre systems and then two, just getting used to working virtually. But so Sabre is basically what I worked on is emails and AAG. So emails is the electromagnetic aircraft launch system, and AAG is the advanced arresting gear. So these are two systems that are on the newest class of aircraft carriers. So this is the CVN 78, the Ford class. And I was really fortunate to support those two programs. And it kind of ties into chemical engineering, but I'm really fortunate that as an engineer, you adapt. So it covered electrical engineering, it covered mechanical. And I was technically an engineering and logistics intern, but I was using, skills of problem solving. It was a lot of, for me, I personally did a lot of work with interpreting engineering change notices because Sabre is a contractor and I'm again supporting. It was basically a big communication of let me try to explain this the right way. Basically, Sabre is like the middleman, and they're communicating with other contractors like General Atomics. And specifically, my job was to interpret these engineering change notices and these different types of drawings. And I was making a ton of Excels and updating spreadsheets of what's being changed out on the ship, and also assisting in so the French, I guess, are wanting these systems on their new aircraft carriers. So interpreting the French's data and their requirements with, the US's requirements and standards. So it was definitely a little different than I've worked in the lab previously. So it was more logistics works and spreadsheets, and it was really interesting kind of getting that crossover and being able to adapt, because as engineers, we're taught to problem solve, I think.
That's phenomenal. It seems like you've gotten so much out of your internship at Sabre Systems, and it's great. I'm sure your professors and folks you work with closely, and and how you go about your internship, I'm sure they got to be thrilled with how much you learned, and and you obviously will get a chance to take that with you once you graduate. Nicole,
and I was oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, you go ahead. Please go ahead.
I wanted to say, I was really thankful, because obviously adjusting to virtual work, we did it for school, but doing a full 8 hours, they were really kind of encouraging of the interns to be super independent with our work. They would give us directions. Sometimes it wouldn't be the most clear, but we were kind of in charge of what they gave us, the specs, and we had to kind of make it work. And obviously learning to communicate and reach out and be vocal if we're confused on something, because we're also being introduced to the new systems, and taking the initiative to research about them so we could understand conversations of what was going on. So it was really a great experience to kind of adapt to virtual work, for sure. So I want to definitely mention that.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you did. Nicole, I did want to ask you just one last question. I know obviously it's been tough, you had having the quarantine and having to just essentially leave for classwork, or obviously, because if you get a chance to work out with your team in any capacity, how have you been able, though, to stay prepared despite right now there's no fall sports going on? I mean, how's it been being able to stay active and, keep yourself ready for if and when the next season were to come?
Definitely credit my coaches and my team. We did a really great job over quarantine, staying connected. We'd have a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of different activities. We'd have FaceTime dates. So we were really interconnected just with our relationships, and that's always been huge. But I personally was injured, so I was doing a lot of work just trying to do what I could. I was really fortunate that the physical therapy place near me was open, and I obviously had to train in a mask, and then I was running when I could. But it was really helpful having always talking to my teammates regularly, keeping me accountable. Obviously, it stinks that our season got postponed, but as a senior, I'm happy to still have a season, that it's not canceled. So it was definitely good to be always in constant communication with my teammates, because we all stayed accountable and obviously have a goal of winning and doing well. So that really helped during this time. Even though we were away, we were together a lot. That's what it felt like. I never felt alone. So that was really nice.
That's great, Nicole. So much to take away from our conversation. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us, and continued luck in your classwork. And like you said, hopefully once next season rolls around, best of luck to you and the girls, and hopefully an American East Championship, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely be champions. So that's our goal.
It's a great goal at that. Folks, that's Nicole Loehle. I'm Mike Ventola, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for having me.